नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि श्री गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री पुरुषोत्तम मास की जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की। हरे कृष्णा। आज
हरे कृष्णा।
पवित्र पुरुषोत्तम मास में
Today in this auspicious Purushottam month
पद्म पुराण से
from Padma Puran,
पुरुषोत्तम मास महात्म्य
we are listening to the glories of Purushottam month and how to observe this Purushottam month. So today we are going to listen to the 12th chapter of the same. As since last 3 sessions we all have been listening about the pastime of King Dhanva, and mostly today he will be liberated. Shri Sud Goswami speaks to the sages of Naimisharanya about this pastime, and the sages have a great inquisitiveness that what is this Purushottam and how it became so glorious, what is the history behind it. So with these questions and queries, Shri Sud Goswami reveals or shares the pastimes of Purushottam in Padma Puran. So Shri Sud Goswami says,
चिंतनायस्य राज्ञ शोका तुरस्य च आजगाम प्रसन्नात्मा वाल्मीकि भगवान विभो वाल्मीकि भगवान विभो। कदाचित चिंतयानस्य राजा दृढ़ धनवा।
कदाचित चिंतना Chintayanasya. So King Dhanva was very anxious and worried that how in my life I have got so much joy, pleasure and comfort, and I have everything perfect, and how can a person have all perfections in life? So he had this inquisitiveness, and during his hunting, that parrot had spoken a verse repeatedly, and what he wanted to convey to the king, he was contemplating the same, kadachit chintana yasya. So he became worried. And not only that, ragya shoka turasya cha. The king Dridhanva was extremely distressed in sadness. So if you try to please him, he was not getting pleased. He didn't used to respond to his wife and sons. And they all tried hard, but they couldn't find any solution to the situation. Aisha Mata, I just remember a song. So, on this attitude of this king, a very old song, you all might be aware.
राजा दृढ़ धनवा गा रहे थे, ये दुनिया ये महफिल मेरे काम की नहीं है, मेरे काम की नहीं। कमला माता जी कहाँ है? कमला ट्रांसलेशन करने वाले जो है, आप भी गाओ, इंग्लिश में गाओ। कथा आप इंग्लिश में ट्रांसलेशन कर रहे हो तो ये गीत भी इंग्लिश में गाओ। दिस वर्ल्ड दिस गैदरिंग इज नो यूज टू मी। किसको सुनाऊं हाल दिल बेकरार का, बुझता हुआ चराग हूँ अपने मजार का। ये काश भूल जाऊं मगर भूलता नहीं, किस धूम से उठा था जनाधार बहार का। राजा दृढ़ धनवा सहरा में आकर भी मुझको ठिकाना ना मिला, गम को भुलाने का कोई बहाना ना मिला। दिल तर से जिसमें प्यार को, क्या समझूं इस संसार को, एक जीती बाजी हार के मैं ढूंढू बिछड़े शूक को। दृढ़ धनवा शूक खोज रहे थे कि वो शूक क्या कहकर चला गया।
So the king Dridhanva was looking for this the parrot, and Shri Sud Goswami says that in this manner he was extremely worried, and in this distress and anxiety, ragya shoka turasya, he was extremely despondent. And at the same time, what happened? King Dridhanva's kingdom and in his assembly, Ajgama Prasannatva. Ajgama means he arrived. So in the kingdom of King Dridhanva arrived who? Prasannatma, who is extremely blissful. So such Valmiki Rishi arrived. So when in our life we have distress and we are entangled by all the obstacles and hurdles in our life, and then at that time the arrival of a great sage, saint, or a bona fide spiritual master, it destroys or ends all our misery and distress. So the one who is blissful, such Valmiki Rishi arrived. So who is this Valmiki? So he adds, Yo Ramacharitam Divyam. We are talking about the same Valmiki sage who has Chakara Paramadbhutam. So, the amazing, mesmerizing Lord Ram has been described by him. So, the king, in the kingdom of King Dhardhanva, Valmiki Rishi came who has composed Ramcharitmanas, and by just listening to that Ramayana written by Valmiki ji, Shravan Matrena Brahmapi Vimuchyate, a person gets liberated from the material world of existence. So the composer or writer of Ramayana, Valmiki Rishi, has arrived in the kingdom of Dridhanva. By just listening to the scripture that he has written, we can get relieved of all types of sins. And if Valmiki Rishi enters and we do, and we, if we don't listen something from Ramayana, then it will be little incomplete. So let's listen something about Ramayana, and it is considered as Mahakavya. Thousands of verses were written by him, and Goswamiji has written innumerous chopais. But if we have to speak this Ramayana in just one verse, then we can speak like this or recite like this. We all should memorize this.
O Ram tapo vanadigamanam hatva mrigam kanchanam vaidehi haranam jatayumaranam sugrivasam bhashanam बालिनिग्रहणं समुद्रतरणं लङ्कापुरीदाहनं पश्चात् रावणकुम्भकर्णहननं चैतद्भिरामायणम्. सो वाल्मीकि ऋषि की एंट्री हुई है.
Valmiki Rishi has entered, who is a composer of Ramayana, and there are thousands of verses in Ramayana, but if we want to compact this Ramayana in just one verse, then this is the verse which beautifully describes Ado Ram Tapo Vanadigamanam. Ado means in the past or previously, Ramji was born, then he got his education and broke the bow of Lord Shiva and married Sita Maya, and he was exiled and he went to the deep forest. So the first pastime in Ramayana is Ram Tapo Vad Van Adi Gamanam. So the going of Lord Shri Ram into exile in the deep forest, and the second is Hatva Mrigam Kanchanam. Lord Shri Ram Chandra, Hatva means to kill, Mriga means the deer, Kanchana means golden. So the golden deer was killed by Lord Shri Ram. So in this pastime, I usually mention that who created these 84 lakhs of species, that is by the Lord himself. And who is the Lord? Lord Ram is he himself. So when Lord saw this golden deer, didn't he realize that I haven't created this? This is not my creation. The one who has created these 84 lakh of species, and this gold deer came, so he should have thought that I haven't created. So there Chanakya Pandit writes or explains that the Lord who himself has created this deer, but still he forgot and he started running behind this deer. What does he wants to reveal or show? That Vinashikale Vipritasya Buddhe, that when your time of destruction is near, then the intelligence gets destroyed, because the Lord who himself has created 84 lakh of species, why will he run behind a cold deer? So this is what Lord Sri Ram represents here, or wants to portray that for us. So to follow the word or keep the word of his father, he went to the deep forest in exile, and later he killed this gold deer. And the third is Vedehi Haranam. So the Lankapati Ravana kidnapped or abducted Mother Sita, and further it's added Jatayu Maranam. When Ravana was abducting Sita Maya, then Jatayu tried really hard to save Mother Sita, but Jatayu was killed by Ravana. And then Sugriva Sambhashanam. Then Lord Sri Ram was in search to find Mother Sita, and he liberated Shabri Mata and came to Kishkinda and met Hanumanji, and he conversed or discussed with Sugriv. Sambhashana means discussion. And then in the third line, Bali Nigrahanam. As he befriended Sugriv, he killed Bali. Nigrahanam means to kill. And then Samudra Taranam. Then Sugrivji sent army to find Mother Sita, and in the south, Hanumanji reached and he crossed this ocean. So Samudra Taranam, Taranam is to cross, Samudra is the ocean. So Hanumanji crossed this ocean. Then Lanka Puri Dahanam. And then Hanumanji burnt the Lanka Puri. And later, after that, Hanumanji came back and they made a bridge on this ocean, and then Pashad Ravana Kumbhakarna Hananam. So Ravan and Kumbhakaran were killed. Chetadhi Ramayanam. So this is Ramayanam. So the Ramayana, which cannot be explained in 7 days, 9 days, 11 days, not even a lifetime, but this has been explained in one verse. This is the glory of the learned scholar, that if they want to elaborate, they can do that in their whole life. And if they just want to make it compact, then in one verse they have spoken the entire Ramayana. So an orator or a acharya, a scholar, has this art that he can elaborate and squeeze at the same time. So this Valmiki Rishi has arrived in the kingdom of Dradhanva, and he was informed. And as soon as he was informed that the Valmiki Rishi has arrived in our kingdom, by just listening to that, the king who used to sing sad songs and was sorrowful, when he heard that Valmiki Rishi has arrived, he stood up instantly and became excited, and he told his wife, what does he say? You can see in this verse, "O Devi, O Queen, O Gun Sundari." Her name is Gun Sundarim. So he says, "O Gun Sundari, So now all my miseries will be destroyed. All my distress, anxiety, and queries will be answered. Why? Because Valmiki Rishi has arrived in our kingdom. So here it is a beautiful point that is presented here. King Dhrdhanva tells his wife, Bale mamada dukhanam ant prapto hari ichhaya. So the arrival of Valmiki Rishi in our kingdom implies that it is the desire and mercy of Lord Sri Hari. So I always share this philosophical point that if you go to a sage or a so that is your good deed or piety. If you go and meet a sage or saint, then that is a piety. But if a sage or a saint comes to you, then that is by the mercy of Lord Hari. Your going to a sage is your piety or good deed, and the arrival of a sage or saint at your doorstep is the mercy of Lord Hari. When the Lord becomes merciful, and the first step of Lord's mercy is that Lord sends a sage or a saint to us. And therefore, when Lord Hanumanji meets Vibhishan, then what does Vibhishan says? He says that without the mercy of a sage, we cannot, of mercy of the Lord, we cannot meet a sage. So I have met you because it is the mercy of Lord Hari. So today, without any invitation, Valmiki Rishi has arrived to my kingdom. That implies Anto Prapto Hari Ichhaya, that is his mercy. That a great sage or a saint has come to our kingdom, and he is not any ordinary saint. Nayam Valmiki Rayati Kintum Sakshad Hari Swayam. This Valmiki is the form of Lord Narayan. I consider him that Valmiki is Lord Narayan himself, because Sarva Bhut Daya Yukta Sadhavo Deen Vatsala. Because Valmiki Rishi has mercy, benevolence towards everyone, and Deen Vatsala. He is the one who bestows mercy on pitiable, destitute people. I am the one who is filled with sorrow and distress, and Valmiki Rishi has arrived because of his mercy. So the king is still in his home. He has just heard the news and he is talking to his wife. He says that I consider Valmiki Rishi to be Lord Narayan because the qualities of Lord Narayan are present in this stage. Further, he adds, Ayam Sakshna Mahabhago Shri Ram Daito Munihi. This Valmiki sage, Dait means favorite, Shri Ram's Daito means that is the favorite or beloved. So he is Saksha Mahabhaga. Mahabhaga means extremely fortunate, and he is the favorite or beloved of Lord Sri Ram. And such a great saint like Valmiki, there is no other in comparison to him on this whole earth, because this is the same Valmiki Rishi, Kritva Ramayanam Yena. He tells his wife Gunasundari, Kritva Ramayanam Yen. This Valmiki Rishi has composed or described the Ramayana, Pavitam Jagatam Trayam. So this Valmiki Rishi, by composing Ramayana, has purified the whole three worlds. And such Valmiki Rishi has arrived in our kingdom and in our assembly. Kim me bhagyamata param. So who can be more fortunate than us? So, oh Devi, we are extremely fortunate that in such a situation, Valmiki Rishi has arrived to our kingdom. So he said that let's get ready. And then they both get ready and reach the assembly because the sage has reached the assembly of the king. So there were so many people in this assembly, and king walked towards Valmiki Rishi. He didn't say that to his minister that you bring the sage to our home, but he went himself towards the sage. Whether it is King Dridhanva or King Dashrath, whenever there is some misery or distress in our life, then they walked towards the sage's home or towards the sage. So they went to this assembly, and first and foremost, Sut Goswami says, Dridhanva bowed down at the lotus feet of Rishi Valmiki and offered his danvats. And then he provided a proper seat for him to sit, and he venerated him. And then he said that you are extremely satisfied and complete in yourself, but I want to have some mercy. So he gave some 1,000 cows in charity to him, and then he offered him rest. And in this assembly, King Dridhanva, with his own hands, started massaging the feet of Valmiki Rishi, and he washed his feet, and the water he of the lotus feet of the sage he put on his own head. So in this way they welcomed Valmiki Rishi. So when he was doing all this, then King Dranva still had this parrot in his mind because he was distressed because of the same. So he was still contemplated on the words of this parrot, and he was thinking that when I get an opportunity, then I will speak about this. So while contemplating on this, he started saying something to Valmiki Rishi, and Sud Goswami recites,
हे वाल्मीकि ऋषि, ये
Oh,
श्लोक
great sage Valmiki, this sage we should remember. This is a very simple verse, but it is very powerful. Adhame safalam janama. I'm extremely fortunate. My life has become successful that you're here. Whatever work I have done were incomplete, but you arrived at our doorstep, and my whole work has been become successful. Adhame safalam jnanam. So I have read so many scriptures, I have gathered so much knowledge, but whatever knowledge that I gained, but that knowledge has fruitified today, that a great sage has arrived at our home. Vibho Tattvad Pad Darshana. By having your lotus feet at our home, my life has become successful. I don't know by what potency or piety I have got this extreme fortune to have your audience. Today, all my ancestors has become satisfied because a pure sage or saint has arrived at our home. Oh, Valmiki Rishi, we have heard so much about you. You are an orator of Ramayana and composer of Ramayana. You know the glory of Valmiki Rishi? He is the sage from Satyuga, and he was in Treta Yuga as well. Ramji came in Treta Yuga, that is the next Yuga. So in Satyuga, Lord Rishi has composed this Ramayana even before Lord Sri Ram was born. So even before Ramji arrived or appeared, he already had written this. So he was the one who has already revealed the future. So today King Dhanva is singing the glories and praises of Valmiki Rishi. He says, O great sage Valmiki, from your lips or by the lotus of your mouth, the nectar of the Hari Katha, that is the pastimes of Lord Hari. So Pibasva means to drink. What? Mukh Bhojam, that is from your lotus face, listening the nectar of Hari, Lord Hari's pastime. And if someone drinks that nectar that flows from your lips, then Munchyate Bhav Koshabhya. So if someone listens to the nectar from your lips, then he gets relief of the material world of misery. And not only that, Sukhe Neva Jita Janaha. He becomes satisfied in this life, and afterlife attains the abode of Lord. So such Valmiki Rishi is here today in my home. So if I get the mercy of your feet, I've already got your mercy, and that is why you are here. But oh, wise sage, still I have a doubt in my heart. So please be merciful and please remove my anxiety. So this distress has been disturbing me since ages. And in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that this doubt can destroy our soul. So it is a matter of great concern, a problem. So King Dhardhanva says that since time immemorial, this disturbance or doubt is there in me. Well, I have my husband, my wife, sons, servants, ministers, everybody is very disciplined and they all listen to me. I have not an iota of distress in my life, but I just want to know that I have so much happiness in my life, and what austerity I am getting this benefit. I just want to know the same. And or and I had this desire to know, and I went to hunt, and then a beautiful parrot came under the banyan tree and he spoke when I was resting as if he was trying to convey something to me. So he was repeatedly speaking a verse in Sanskrit, but I couldn't understand. And by the time I could understand, he left. So please be merciful. So just let me know who was this parrot. Was he Vyasnandan Shukdev Krishna? And what does he wanted to convey? So please let me know. So please reveal this mystery to me. When King Dridhanva requested Valmiki Rishi, then Valmiki Rishi closed his eyes and he became mute. And for 45 minutes, that is one muhurata, he contemplated or went into trance. And after that, when he opened his eyes, he he was about to answer the king, and at that time this chapter was concluded. So here the 12th chapter gets concluded. So now Valmiki Rishi has already contemplated and he has seen everything. But the only thing remaining is that he is about to reveal. So we will listen to the 13th chapter later.
So इस प्रकार से
So
पुरुषोत्तम
in this manner, in this Purushottam month,
और उसके अंतर्गत भी कितनी
and
सुंदर
under
सुंदर बातें
this,
हमारे
there's so
जीवन में
many things
प्रैक्टिकल सीखने लायक
which
बातें
are practical that we should try to understand.
पुरुषोत्तम महात्म्य हम सब श्रवण कर रहे हैं
And we all are listening to
और जैसे कि
these
इस
things
महीने में
and the glories of Purushottam month and how to observe it.
महिमा है
So as
तो
it is
randomly
glorious
कोई
to
भी
sing Ashtakam, so
अष्टकम गा
so
रहे हैं
we are
कोई भजन
listening
कर रहा
or
है
reciting
तो
other
सौराग्य अष्टकम गा
Ashtakams.
रहे
So
हैं
today we will recite Chauragya Ashtakam.
चौराग्य अष्टकम का भाव क्या है जानते
And
हैं
what is the mellow behind it?
चोर अग्रगण्या
Chor
हमारे
Agra
आचार्यों ने
Ganya.
कृष्ण को क्या कहा
Our
चोर क्यों
scholars
कहा
have told, not
कृष्ण
told
चोर है
him the
नहीं आप मुझे
thief.
बताओ कृष्ण चोर है
Is Krishna a thief?
हमारे आचार्यों ने कृष्ण को चोर नहीं
Our
कहा कृष्ण को
scholars
चोर
have
का
told that
सरदार कहा
he's
वो
not
चोर नहीं है
the thief,
वो
but he's
समस्त
the
चोरों
chief
से
of
ऊपर
all
है
the
जो
thieves.
कैटेगरी में आता है ना महाचोर चोरों का सरदार है और इसीलिए कहते हैं
And
ब्रजेश
therefore he
प्रवृत्त
says,
चोरम चोराग्य गानम दुकुल पीत चोरम अनेक जन्मार्जित पाप चोरम चोराग्य गमनम पुरुषम नमामि हमारे ब्रज में एक प्रसिद्ध
so
चोर
in Braj there is a famous thief, and what does he steal? He steals the butter. And what does he steal?
वस्त्र को चुराता है
He
और क्या
steals
चुराता
the
है
clothes of
बोले
the
राधा रानी का
gopis,
दिल चुरा
and
लेता है
he has
और क्या
stolen the
चुराता है
heart of
बोले
Srimati
इसको नमाते हैं
Radharani.
इसको आश्रित हो तो
And
अपने भक्तों के पापों को चुरा
if we
लेता
bow
है
down at his lotus feet and we take his shelter,
सचमुच ये
then
चोर नहीं
he
चोरों का सरदार
steals
है
all the sins of the devotees.
यदि नामापि भवेत पाप राशि आप दुनिया में किसी चोर का नाम लो ना
If you speak of a thief in
आतंकवादी कोई चोर है
Israel or
कोई
a
कर्फ्यू
terrorist,
भारत में लग गया और
and
आप
if there is
किसी
a
भी उस
curfew,
चोर का नाम लो तो
and
पुलिस
if you
पकड़ लेगी साला
speak
तेरा कोई रिलेशन
the
है
name
बता बता
of him,
इस
then
दुनिया
the
में
police will
किसी
arrest you
चोर
that
का
you
नाम
might have a
अगर लो
connection with him.
तो
So
पुलिस जेल में बंद कर देती है
if we take a name of a
लेकिन
thief,
ये जो
then we
चोरों का
will be
सरदार है
imprisoned.
उस
But this
चोर के
chief of
सरदार का
all the
एक का
thieves,
एक बार भी आप नाम
Lord
ले
Shri
लो ना
Krishna, if we
तो
speak his
करोड़ों
name or even
करोड़ों
only
जन्म से
once,
मुक्त कर देता
then
है
we can be relieved or atoned of
अनेक
millions and
जन्मार्जित पाप
billions of
चोरम
the sins that we have
चोराग्य
accumulated or
गमनम
gathered
पुरुषम
in the
नमामि
multiple lives that we have
और सबसे बड़ी चोरी क्या
existed.
करता है जानते हैं
And the
ये अपने डिवोटी के
greatest
मन को चुरा
thing,
लेता है
what he steals is the
जैसे आप
heart
सबका
of
मन
his
को चुरा
devotee,
लिया है
as he has stolen the hearts of all of
चाहे
you
कितना
here.
भी बिजी हो कितना भी
No
काम
matter
हो
how much busy you
ईश्वर की
are, how
कथा
much work you have,
सुनने के लिए
but
समय से
you
हाजिर हो जाते
all
हैं
come here to listen to
लेकिन इस
the
प्रवचन
pastimes
के
of
अंत
this
में
thief. But
एक
in the
भक्त की
conclusion
ईश्वर से
of
प्रार्थना थी
this
प्रभु आप चोर हो
Ashtakam,
इसमें तो
the
कोई डाउट नहीं है
devotee
आपको
prays
डाउट है
that you are
कृष्ण
a
चोर है इसमें कोई
thief, and
डाउट
there
नहीं
is no
बच्चा
doubt
बच्चा
in that.
जानता है
Everybody
दुनिया
knows
में
that.
सब लोग जानते हैं कि आप चोर हो
Everybody
और
knows
चोर
that
नहीं
you are a
चोरों के
thief,
सरदार हो
and you are the
मतलब
chief
इंटरनेशनल टेररिस्ट हो
of
इंटरनेशनल
all
चोर
the
हो
thieves.
छोटे मोटे चोर नहीं
And you're not
दुनिया
any
के विख्यात
ordinary
चोर
thief.
हो आप
You are the most famous thief
और
of
बात
all
विशेष क्या
times.
है
And
कि
this
चोर
is
के
true
पीछे
as well,
पुलिस पड़ी रहती है
because
है ना
thief is
11
always
मुल्कों की पुलिस तो याद
followed
करो
by the
11
police.
मुल्कों की पुलिस हमारा पीछा कर रही है लेकिन हमें पकड़ना मुश्किल ही नहीं नामुमकिन है तो इस चोर को पकड़ने के लिए 11 मुल्कों की
So
पुलिस नहीं
to
150 मुल्कों के लोग डिवोटी इस चोर को
so
पकड़ने
to
का प्रयास कर
catch
रहे हैं
this thief, the devotees from all
सो
the
एक भक्त
countries,
ने कहा कि
150
प्रभु आप
countries, are
चोर हो
trying
इसमें
to
कोई
catch
डाउट
him.
नहीं है और चोर की
So they say
विशेषता
that
जो
there
होती है
is no doubt that you are a
जो चोर
thief,
है ना वो
and a
अंधेरा
thief
खोजता है
always
कहीं
looks for
अंधेरा आ जाए तो मैं
darkness
छिप जाऊं
wherever he finds darkness so that he can
रामायण में लिखा
hide
है
himself.
साधुओं
It is
को
mentioned in
उजाला पसंद है
Ramayana
चोर को
that the
अंधेरा पसंद है
sages prefer
साधु लोग राह देखते
light,
हैं कब उजाला होगा कब मंगला आरती कब
and
कृपा करेंगे और चोर
the
राह देखते हैं कि कब
thieves
अंधेरा
wait
होगा
for
तब
the
चोरी
night,
करेंगे
that when will the night come
तो
and
चोर
we
को
will
अंधेरा
steal.
पसंद है और प्रभु आप चोर हो आप
And
चोर
you
हो
are a thief.
इसलिए आप अंधेरा खोजते हो कि कहीं
You also
अंधेरे
look
में मेरे
for
साथ छिप जाओ
darkness
ताकि कोई
that I
खोज
could
ना पाए
that you can hide and nobody
तो
can
बोलो बड़ी
find you.
सीक्रेट बात है
But let me share one secret with
मेरे
you,
दिल
oh my
में
dear Lord. In
करोड़ों
my
करोड़
heart,
जन्म से अज्ञान का अंधेरा भरा पड़ा है
in my heart,
आप
there
चोर
is
हो आप
the
अंधेरा ही खोजते होंगे
darkness of ignorance from the millions and millions of birth. I have gathered all this darkness and ignorance, and if you come in my heart, nobody would be able to find you. This is the mellow and emotion of a devotee, and this has been expressed in Sanskrit as Charaganya Ashtakam, and we sing this in this Purushottam. So let's recite this Ashtakam.
नवल किशोर जय गोपी चित चोर प्रभु जय जय माखन चोर जय जय माखन चोर। श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान के बाल कृष्ण लाल के जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद के। उपस्थित भगवत कथा अनुरागी
Hare Krishna, I welcome all the loving devotees of Srimad Bhagavatam, all the devotees attendees.
इस सभा को
I also welcome with warm welcome and gratitude the loving senior devotees
दूर दूर से
who have decorated this assembly. I also welcome you all who have joined
आदि के माध्यम
through the medium of YouTube, Facebook, Govind TV, etc.,
करने वाले
from all the parts of the world, that is, all the listeners
ये सुंदर
and
भगवत कथा का
the organizers of this beautiful katha, the denizens of Delhi, Shri Asha Sharma Mataji,
और ऑस्ट्रेलिया
and
मेलबर्न
from
से
Australia, Melbourne,
अपने पावन
in the memory or reverie of her ancestors,
महादेव श्रीमती
Shri
सुरुज कौर
Mahadev Suruch Kaur Mataji,
श्रीमती सावित्री देव
Savitri Deo, and
नलिनी देव माता
Nalini Deo Mataji.
आप सभी भक्तों का
I
श्रीमद्
welcome
भागवत कथा
you
के
all
द्वितीय
on
दिवस में
the second day of the
पुनः एक
Bhagavatam
बार
Katha.
हार्दिक स्वागत।
Welcome back, and
आप सबके चरणों
please
में
accept our humble obeisances at your lotus feet.
राधे श्याम।
Radhe Shyam.
सो परम सौभाग्य है
We are extremely fortunate
मेलबर्न से
that from Melbourne,
के साथ साथ
along with Nalini Mataji from Melbourne,
हरी जी भी
Shri Radha Giridhari ji
करने आए
is also listening to the Srimad Bhagavatam Katha.
पिछले 2 साल से
Since last 2 years,
इस प्रकार से
Mataji
आयोजन करती हैं।
has been organizing the
उन्होंने
Katha,
निवेदन किया था
and then she requested
नामकरण कीजिए
that we should name Thakurji,
समय में लगभग ब्रज
and
नहीं था गोवर्धन
I was in
करके आया
Braj
था।
and I just returned from Govardhan Parikrama,
यह सौभाग्य हमें मिला
and I got
ठाकुर जी
this
का नाम
extreme
रखना
fortune
श्री श्री
to
राधा
name
गिरधारी जी।
the Lord, and I
श्री
named
राधा
him Shri Shri Radha Giridhari.
भगवान की। वैसे तो भगवान की सभी लीला मधुर है
So all the pastimes of the Lord are
ब्रज लीला
very beautiful,
तो उससे भी अधिक मधुर है।
and the Braj Leela is even more mesmerizing.
सभी
And
लीलाओं
even
के
in Braj Leela,
अपने कुछ महात्म्य
all
कुछ
have their own glories and importance.
नलिनी माता के पास जो राधा गिरधारी जी हैं
The Radha Giridhari which Nalini Mataji has, the glory of
कि अन्य
them
लीलाओं
is
में
that in all the
भगवान श्री कृष्ण
pastimes, Lord Shri
अपने भक्तों
Krishna
के साथ
has
केवल एक रस का आदान प्रदान किया
exchanged only one mellow at a time. For example, in Damodar, only parental affection was present. With friends, that was the fraternal relationship, and with the gopis, the conjugal love. But the Govardhan Lila or pastime is such in which Allah, all the mellows were exchanged by the Lord, because the situation was thus that Krishna is standing with Govardhan hill on his finger, and below that, all the gopis, cowherd boys, his friends, and Mother Yashoda, etc., all the great sages and spiritual masters were there, and especially some gopis or cowherd girls were under restriction that they were not allowed to go out to see or meet Shri Krishna. So such gopis who had this desire but they couldn't meet him, but during this Govardhan pastime, even those gopis got an opportunity to have an audience with the Lord. So such Isht Aradhya Shri Radha Giridhari ji from Melbourne is listening to the Katha. So, so you can see in the backdrop, yesterday this cart was okay, but today it is haywire. Today it's broken by Kanhaiya. So Govind TV is already set. So even I will have to do so that you may feel that everything is going time to time. So this is a beautiful pastime of the Lord. So primarily, Shukdev Goswami has spoken this in Srimad Bhagavatam, and then other great acharyas, learned scholars have written their commentaries and perspectives with great love. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's favorite, who is considered to be the seventh Goswami, that is Thakur Bhakti Vinod. He has written a scripture, and on what topic? So, all the demons that were killed by Lord Shri Krishna in Braja, what do they signify? For example, Ravan was the symbol of pride. One is Ravana, and then other is the behavior like Ravana. That is the psychophysical nature similar to Ravana. So Ravan was who he was prideful. He abducted someone else's wife. So Ramji killed Ravana, but his psychophysical nature is still present. So Thakur Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written a scripture that the demon that Krishna killed, so the demon was killed, but the psychophysical nature of these demons are still present in all of us. So, for example, we are going to discuss this Shaktasur. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that what does this Shaktasur denotes or implies? So, this Shakat or this cart or the bullock cart, what is like this? They were old utensils. Second, this bullock cart was not working. As you heard yesterday, that it was just standing in the parking. They were not using it. And third, this bullock cart was on top of the Lord. So, Thakur Bhaktivinoda Thakur teaches us first, this bullock cart, this Shaktasur. So, what does this Shakat had? All the old utensils. So, whatever we don't use, that kind of utensils. So, this is of a old habit. So our old bad habits is the psychophysical nature of Shaktasur. So this bullock cart or this demon Shaktasur, it didn't work. It used to stay at one place. So this second is laziness, which you don't have. So not to move. So even if a beautiful kirtan is going on, still stand there like a pole. So that is laziness. So this behavior. So please try to understand. This is what Bhaktivinoda Thakur has revealed, that this Shaktasur had these shortcomings. First, he's sitting with old utensil, that is the old habits, bad habits. And second, he doesn't do anything. He's filled or overwhelmed with laziness. And then Krishna is below and he is on top of him. That means he's filled with pride. So he has kept the Lord below and he has this pride that he is better than the Lord. So these are the psychophysical nature of Shaktasur. So he has all bad habits, laziness, and pride. So if all these three qualities are there in us, then we are also no better than Shaktasur. We might be in wearing dhoti, kurta, and tilak, but what this Shaktasur implies, the person who has all these three qualities. So somewhere we should try to connect ourselves to the pastimes of Lord. So sometimes people had this bad habit. For example, Hiranyakashipu was a demon. He had won the whole entire world and he took a decision that now he had won everything. So he said that I will reside in heaven. So there, the demigods used to drink somras, that is the nectar of flowers, but he started drinking alcohol there. Nal, Kuber and Shani. So they both, the sons of King Kubera, became the person assistant of Lord Shiva, but they were so sons of opulent father. So these two started intoxicating themselves on the holy banks of the holy river. So this is the behavior of Shaktasur. So if we also have these qualities or bad qualities in us, then that one Shaktasur was there in Gokul and the one is here in our Gokul. That is, Go means of senses and Kul. So he's sitting inside us. So you might not have bad qualities like anger. You all are sitting at the gates of heaven. So how does the door look? Please let me know too. If we accept that we have some bad qualities, that implies that the Shaktasur is there in us. Then second is laziness. So in this material or spiritual world, we should always remember one thing. We should have enthusiasm. In the beginning of Nectar of Instruction, Rup Goswami writes, so we should always have enthusiasm, zeal. Person should be always active. But this laziness signifies or denotes Shaktasur. Remember Ramayana Shabri, how much enthusiasm she had. Matang Rishi told that Lord Sri Ram will come at your gate, and she used to go on a daily basis to the forest, bring fruits and decorate the pathway. And Ram wouldn't come, and next day again she used to do it in the hopes that Ram will come, but he didn't came. And doing thus, some acharyas have written that she lived 60,000 years. She lived like this, and Shabri became old. Her body became old, but her zeal, her enthusiasm didn't got old. In her old age also, she used to go with that same zeal to bring fruits and decorate the pathway in expectation that Lord Sri Ram will come.
उगती रे आशा संध्या ढळे ने मने મળતી નિરાશા રાત દિવસ હું તો જોઉં તારી વાય મારી ઝૂંપડીએ આવો મારા રામ મનનો મોરલિયો રટે તારું નામ મનનો મોરલિયો રટે તારું નામ મારી ઝૂંપડીએ આવો મારા રામ એક વાર આવી પૂરો હૈયા કેરી હા મારી ઝૂંપડીએ આવો મારા રામ આરે યા ખડીએ મને ઓછું દેખાય છે દર્શન વિના મારું દિલડું મૂંઝાય છે યારે યા ખડીએ મને ઓછું દેખાય છે દર્શન વિના મારું મંદડું મૂંઝાય છે નહીં રે આવો તો વાલા જાશે મારી લાય નહીં રે આવો તો વાલા જાશે મારા પ્રાણ મારી ઝૂંપડીએ આવો મારા રા મનનો મોરલિયો રટે તારું નામ મારી ઝૂંપડીએ આવો મારા રા इस प्रकार शबरी
So,
को
in this manner, Shabri had this enthusiasm, zeal, and it is very necessary to have zeal or enthusiasm in devotional service. So, I would say that when you associate with devotional service, you should always stay with people who are enthusiastic. Those who sit lazy, we should not associate with such people. We should always have zeal, enthusiasm. Srila Prabhupada used to say, Bhakti implies active devotional service. We should always be active and serve the Lord. So I was just saying, Thakur Bhakti Vinod has these three psychophysical natures, that is pride, laziness, and to keep bad habits. So if we have any of these three qualities, that implies that the Shaktasur is sitting inside us. So the Shaktasur of Gokula was destroyed or killed by Lord Shri Krishna. But the one which is residing in our hearts, what about that? So Bhakti Thakur Bhakti Vinod Thakur says that this Shaktasur was killed by Lord Shri Krishna. But all this laziness, pride, etc., whatever is in us will be destroyed by the pastime of the Lord. If we listen to the pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna or we chant the holy names of the Lord, then all these bad qualities or physio psychophysio nature will be destroyed. So such pastime of the Lord we already have heard, but whatever is remaining, we will discuss the same from the perspective of the great learned scholars. So far we have heard Yashoda has put Lord Shri Krishna under the bullock cart, and Krishna became angry and he started shaking his legs. So, as if he was trying to touch this Chakasur from his feet. So, he started moving his legs. So, a great sage has interpreted this as yesterday you heard one, why he put his feet above, because he wanted to break this Shakat. And Krishna is aware that this bullock cart is created and destroyed by the fourth class people, and it has originated from my feet. So if I touch from my feet, so they are aware, so they will break it. So he was raising his legs for the same. And why is he raising his legs? There is a, we'll have to take a reference from Srimad Bhagavatam first canto, first chapter. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Kunti ji has venerated the Lord, as you all are aware about the Kunti Stuti. So there are different time. So the first is Namaskar. So there are many stages. So in the first, in some verses, she has venerated or glorified the Lord. कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः 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 कुंती ने अनेकों श्लोकों में नमस्कार किया. So in many verses she has venerated the Lord. So under that, so in this stuti there is this stage of venerating the Lord, and then there is this, there are verses to express her gratitude. And the third, she asked, and what did she ask? She says that I don't want anything. And then now in the fourth stage or part of Kunti veneration, so you might not have heard this like this. So in the fourth part, Mother Kunti comments about the birth of Lord Shri Krishna. Mother Kunti says, "Oh Krishna, in this world, about your birth, there are so many perspectives according to the people. So everybody has their own viewpoint regarding the same, according to their wisdom." And what do they say? Mother Kunti says about the birth of Lord Shri Krishna. They say, Kechit Ahu. They say that you are never born. So how can a person who can't be born be born? So how can a person like you be born? And then some people say you are born so that the Pandavas like Yudhishthir, Arjuna and Parikshit be glorified. And some people say that because of the prayers of the demigods you have manifested in this earth. So different people say different things. So in that, sequence, Devi Kunti speaks this verse.
Vataranyanye Bhuvo Nav Ivo Dadho Sidantya Buri Bharena Jato Yatma Bhuvarthitah. हे प्रभु
Oh, dear Lord, the reason behind you being born, Mother Kunti is giving the reason of the birth of Krishna to Lord Sri Krishna. This is really beautiful. She says, Bhara Vatara Ayanya. And the reason behind you being born is to remove the bhar, that is to reduce the weight of this material world. How? So now, as if in a boat, if there is too much weight, then it starts shaking and it gets merged in the water. Similarly, on this material earth, there are so many mountains, cliffs, etc. But the greatest weight that the Mother Earth has to tolerate is of the sin which she cannot tolerate. And because of that, she shakes and she starts shivering. So, to protect Mother Earth, you have incarnated. So, Siddhantya Bhuri Bharena, to protect this Mother Earth, on behest of Lord Brahma, you have appeared on this earth. So, just keep this one point in your mind that Lord Shri Krishna appears on this world to reduce the weight of Mother Earth. Then the second point, how did the Mother Earth manifested? She appeared from the lotus feet of the Lord. And Lord Shri Krishna has arrived to reduce the weight on Mother Earth. So now let's come back to our pastime. Why did he raise his feet? While crying, the Shaktasur is sitting on this bullock cart. And why is Krishna raising his leg? Krishna saw that this demon is here on the top, and to kill this demon and to reduce the weight of Mother Earth, I'm here. So I am here, so I have to work. But she has appeared from my feet, and because she has appeared from there, and if I want to remove the weight on her, so you should also help me a little. You should also give me a little hand. So that is why she raised his legs, that you should also work, because I'm trying to help you, so you should also endeavor. So in this manner, taking the help of Mother Earth, who has appeared from the lotus feet of the Lord, Lord Shri Krishna is going to break this bullock cart. That is why he has raised his legs. And as he started crying and raised his leg, he didn't have to kick it hard. He just touched the thumb of his feet, and this small thumb of his feet touched the bullock cart. This bullock cart flew in the sky. Shukdev Goswami says that the Lord just touched this bullock cart with the thumb of his feet, and it almost touched the sky, and it fell down, and all the wheels were disabled. Everything was torn, and all these old utensils were broken and fell down here and there. And this demon who was present there in this bullock cart he was also dead and has fallen there. And he took a beautiful form and he venerated the Lord and went, circumambulated the Lord and went to the eternal abode of the Lord, that is Vaikuntha. So Krishna had liberated this demon. So now you all are aware of this pastime, but Lord Shri Krishna, why did he broke this bullock cart? He could have liberated him by just raising his hand and giving him benediction. Why? What was the need to break everything and destroy everything? And then he liberated him. So why was the bullock cart broken? There are four reasons. Please listen carefully. These are very pleasant. So first is we'll have to use little intelligence. Shakat. Cut means to cut. And shu means, so you should just cut these words into two. So shum means peace and cut means to cut or destroy. So shakat, sh implies peace and cut means to cut. So it implies to cut or destroy the peace. So what does shakat means? To destroy or cut the peace. So Lord Shri Krishna was sleeping below this bullock. So he thinks that I am the one who gives peace, and here is this who is the one who destroys the peace. So how can he sit on top of me? And Krishna lost his control and he kicked and he broke this bullock cart. So but just by thinking this, that he is the one who destroys, the destroyer of peace is sitting on top of the one who gives peace. So he broke this bullock cart. So, and the second reason being, the scholars write in their interpretation in Vaijayanti Kosh, cut means shove. Shove, that is dead body. So the dead body is the cut. So cut implies dead body and shav means peaceful or calm. So the one whose body has become calm is considered to be shakat. So he's sleeping below the shakat. He's thinking 3 months before Putna came and she had a huge body, 18 to 20 kilometer long. Dead body of Putna was there. And what did my father do? He bought an axe and he cut her and pacified her or calmed her. So there he becomes calm. So why, how come this Shakat is here? So this same Putna has came the form of Shakat and came thinking this, Lord Shri Krishna kicked and broke it apart. Third reason, Krishna kicked that bullock cart and broke it and put it on ground. So he is teaching us a philosophical point or an etiquette here. And what is it? I am the Lord. You should sit on my lotus feet or on my head. I'm the Lord. So you should sit under me. And he is sitting on top of me. So therefore Krishna kicked and brought him down to earth. So a great scholar says in the mellow of bravery, he says that we all devotees should always be humble, but if we go to a battlefield, then we should break them and we should defeat them and put them on earth, as Krishna has put the Shaktasur on the earth. A great scholar has written that Lord Shri Krishna, by killing Shaktasur, wants to prove or portray that I'm hungry, my mother is not feeding me, I'm crying, I don't even have an appropriate bed, and I'm totally in loss. I don't have anything, not to eat, nothing to sleep on. But this Shaktasur, the one who gives distress to others, although I'm unhappy, but this is here, so I will kill him. So Krishna is teaching that a pure devotee, no matter how much problem or distress he might face, but he should try to remove the distress of others. That is the behavior or psychophysical nature of a devotee. So Krishna has so many problems of his own. He's not able to sleep properly. He's hungry. He's crying. Yet he has killed this demon, that even if we have distress in our life, but still we should try to remove the distress of others. That should be our mood throughout our life. So now here I remember Junagar.
તેને રે કહીએ જે પીડ પરાઈ જાણે રે વૈષ્ણવ જન તો તેને રે કહીએ પર દુઃખે ઉપકાર કરે તો એ મન અભિમાન ન આए વૈષ્ણવ જન તો તેને કહીએ और एक अंतिम कारण भगवान श्री
So
कृष्ण
the
ने
last reason Lord Shri Krishna
बैलगाड़ी को क्यों तोड़ दिया
broke this bullock cart. Why? Krishna thought, please listen carefully.
कृष्ण ने सोचा कि मैं
Krishna thought, who am I? I am the king of all the mellows.
रसों के राजा अच्छा कृष्ण के अंदर माधुर्य रस साख्य रस
Krishna has all these mellows.
उपनिषद ने क्या कहा रसो वै स रसम हेवायम लब्धा आनंदी भवति सो कृष्ण रस स्वरूप है
So he is the mellow personified, and he's the king of all the mellows. And Krishna saw that this bullock cart is on top of me, and it has paws, and it has the mellow of milk, curd, and butter, etc. So I am the king of all the mellows, and what can be a greater mellow than me? So I should be on the top. So how can these mellows be on top of me? Because Krishna's mellow is the greatest. In Bhagavad Gita, he says, Lord Shri Krishna and his devotional service is the greatest mellow of all. So he says that I am the greatest mellow. Then who is greater? And Krishna lost his control and he broke all these mellows which were on top of him. So in this manner, Lord Shri Krishna was performing his pastime, which is mesmerizing. So now, a Acharya or a scholar has said, why did he kick this bullock cart with his feet? He could have used his hands or elbow. He could have used his discus. But why did he use only his legs? legs are not considered that important. So why did he kick from his legs? So charan in Sanskrit also has meaning pad. That is, and the other meaning being that is the fourth class of the people, or the fourth category of people. So or the one-fourth part. So here we have a verse. So in that verse we have four sections. So one section is considered to be one pad. So 25% is considered to be a pad. So one-fourth part of anything is the. So what is Lord Krishna thinking? Kim artham agre al. He thinks that he is an ordinary demon to kill that. Samagra bal darshanam, I need not use all my potency to kill a rat. We don't need a lion. Only a cat is enough. So what does Krishna thinks? He thinks that this is just a small demon. And will he use all his energy? He'll not reveal all his potency. So thinking this, Lord Shri Krishna just used the one-fourth part of his body, that is his legs, and broke this bullock. So instead of using all his power or strength, he just used one-fourth of his strength. So pad here is feet, but here pad means one-fourth part. So in this whole body, we have four sections: shoulder, back, leg. So this is the one-fourth part of the body. So Lord Shri Krishna, to kill this demon, has just used one-fourth of his body or strength. So that is why he kicked him with his legs. Then another scholar has written beautiful thing. According to astrology, so let me just tell you about this bullock, that this bullock which is here, it actually belongs to Mother Rohini, the mother of Balramji, who used to reside in Braj. So this is the bullock of Rohini ji. So she was not using it. So therefore she kept it in the parking. And because it belongs to Mother Rohini, so it was addressed as Rohini Shakat. And second thing that happened is that he was shaking his legs slowly. And when someone walks slowly, then they say or refer to it as shane. Shane means slowly, slowly. So shanesh chara, chara means to move. So the one who moves slowly is shanesh chara. So Krishna is referred to here as Shaneshchar. According to the Panchatantra or the science of astrology, it is mentioned if the sun, that is Lord Shani, demigod Shani, or Saturn, so if he breaks what? Rohinia, the constellation Rohini. So if this planet Saturn or Shani breaks this Rohini, what happens? if he does that, then in the second line it is mentioned,
नहीं वर्षंती वासवो भूमो. तो 12
द्वादश वर्षाणि तदा नहीं वर्षति वास्तव भूमो. So for 12 years there won't be any rains.
इसको जब समझ में आता है तो बड़ा आनंद आता है.
So when we understand this, then it becomes very interesting. So this is
में ये लिखा है
from the science of astrology Panchatantra, that the son of sun, that is Shani,
तो शनि देवता
the
यदि रोहिणी
Saturn,
नक्षत्र को भेदते
if
हैं
it enters the
उसे भेद कर
Rohini
चले जाता है
constellation,
तो धरती पर
then
12 वर्ष तक
on
वर्षा
the
नहीं
earth
होती है.
there won't be any rains for 12 years.
तो यहाँ पर क्या हुआ,
So
शनि
here what
देवता
happened?
रोहिणी को भेदे. तो यहाँ भगवान श्री कृष्ण के
Lord
चरण
Shri
धीरे धीरे बढ़
Krishna's
रहे हैं,
feet
इसलिए
are walking
कृष्ण को
slowly,
शनेश्वर अंग्री
therefore
बोलते
he
हैं.
is referred to as Shanesh.
और ये शकट का नाम क्या है,
And what is the
रोहिणी
name of
शकट.
this Shakat? That is
जैसे
Rohini
शनि
Shakat.
देवता रोहिणी को भेदे तो
So
12
as
वर्ष वर्षा नहीं होती है, ठीक उसी
Rohini
प्रकार
is pierced by
शनिश्वर
this
कृष्ण
Saturn,
रोहिणी
then
शकट
there
को
won't be any
भेदे
rains for
तो
12 years. But
12
when
वर्ष तक वर्षा
Krishna
रुक गई. कौन सी वर्षा रुकी, इन
kicked
असुरों के
these
द्वारा
demons
साधु संतों की आंखों से अश्रु
or
की
this
वर्षा
Rohini
हो रही
Shakata,
थी.
so because of these
लेकिन
demons,
शनेश्वर अंग्री भगवान श्री कृष्ण
the
ने
saints were
रोहिणी
crying, and
शकट
that
को
was the rain
भेदा,
that was happening.
असुरों
And
को मारा,
so for
तो
12
साधु
years,
संतों
this
की आंखों की
was
आंसुओं की वर्षा बंद हो
stopped
गई. मतलब संतों की पीड़ा बंद हो
by
गई,
Lord Krishna. So
ऋषि
he
मुनियों
has
की पीड़ा
destroyed the
बंद हो गई.
distress of all
तो
these
बहुत
great
सुंदर
sages and
उपमा
saints.
देते हैं
So
कि
therefore,
शनि
here
रोहिणी
beautifully
को
they
भेदे
have given
तो 12
example that
वर्ष वर्षा नहीं होती. ठीक उसी प्रकार शनेश्वर
as
कृष्ण
Saturn
रोहिणी शकट को
pierces
छोड़े
Rohini, then there
12
is
वर्ष
any
तक वर्षा नहीं, माने
no rain for
शनेश्वर
12
कृष्ण
years.
को फिर
Similarly,
कोई
when
इशू नहीं, कोई दुख
Krishna
नहीं, कोई प्रॉब्लम
kicked
नहीं.
this Rohini Shakat, then there won't be any distress for 12 years for the
भगवान
sages
श्री
and saints.
कृष्ण
So in this manner,
लीला कर रहे
Lord
हैं,
Shri Krishna
लेकिन
is
लीला
performing
के
his
साथ साथ
pastimes, but
बहुत सारे
along with that,
भाव और तत्व
he
के साथ
is
वो
giving
अपना
us
कार्य कर
philosophical
रहे हैं.
understanding. So now what
जब
happened?
कृष्ण ने इस छकड़े को तोड़ दिया
When Krishna broke this
और धड़ाम
bullock
करके
cart
पृथ्वी पर गिरा,
and it broke,
जब
fell
गिरा
down on
मानो
this
धरती
earth,
हिल गई, धड़ाम
and the
करके
earth
आवाज आई और
started
अंदर
shaking,
जितने भी लोग थे
and there was
फेस्टिवल
such
में,
a great sound
सब
that
लोग
all
घर
the
से
people
बाहर आ गए.
who were there in the festival, they all
यशोदा
came
भी
out.
निकल कर आई तो
Mother
देखा
Yashoda also
ये
came out and
छकड़े के
saw
सारे पुर्जे
this
अलग,
bullock
ये
cart
छकड़ा
has
टूटा
been
हुआ टुकड़ा
destroyed.
पड़ा था. और
It was
यशोदा ने देखा,
all
अरे मैंने तो इसके नीचे ही सुलाया
into
था.
pieces.
इसे
And
देखकर
Yashoda
यशोदा
is
मैया
thinking that
मूर्छित होकर गिर गई.
I have just kept Krishna under
फिर
this
नंद
bullock
बाबा
cart, and
आगे गए, उसे
after seeing
पकड़
this, she
लिया
became unconscious. So Nand
और
Baba
बीच में
went
कन्हैया
ahead
खेल रहे थे.
and saw that
तो
Lord
नंद
Shri
बाबा ने
Krishna was
कृष्ण को
playing
उठाया
in midst of
और
all this
यशोदा
chaos,
मैया के गोद में
and he
डाल
picked
दिया.
Kanhaiya
वही
and put
आंखों वाली
him on the
केवल
lap of
ये
Mother
दो गोप
Yashoda.
थे, अब उसके लिए
But
क्या
all
क्या
the
था,
other
अब
cowherd
सब
boys,
ऑब्जर्वेशन करने लगे.
so
अरे
they
यार,
all started
ये
observing
बैलगाड़ी
that
इस
this
छकड़े में
bullock
कैसे
cart,
गिर गई,
how could it break
ये कुछ समझ में
while
नहीं आ रहा.
standing? It's
तो
beyond
अब
our
अगर अपनी
understanding.
कार
So if you
अपने
park your
गैराज में
car,
पार्क करो
you park
और
it in
सुबह
your
में
garage,
जाकर
and
देखो टायर
you
लीक
go
है,
into the garage in the
पंचे लीक
morning,
है,
and
इंजन
you
लीक
see
है,
that
किसी
this
से
is all
ऐसा
bit
पूरा ढगला ढेर आपको मिले, तो आप सोच में तो पड़ोगे ना, ये हुआ कैसे,
dismembered, it's
ये पड़े
put
पड़े
in
खड़े खड़े टायर
pieces.
कैसे गिर गए.
So you will think that how this
सो
car
सारे
has
गोप
come
बालक
down to
वहां
this
पर
situation.
सोच रहे
So
थे
all these
कि
cowherd
कैसे गिरी, कैसे गिरी.
men were
छोटे
thinking,
छोटे बच्चे थे,
how
वो भाग
does
गए
it
थे,
broke?
उन्होंने कहा
So the
हम
small
जानते ये कैसे
children
गिरा,
were
हमें मत
playing. They
क्या,
said that we know
यशोदा
how
मैया
it happened.
आप
They
जानते
said,
हो, बताओ कैसे गिरा.
then you should share it with us how it
कन्हैया
broke.
जग गया.
They said that Krishna
सुखदेव जी
woke
जब वर्णन
up.
करते हैं ना तो उसमें क्रिया
Shukdev
प्रकार
ji, when
ऐसे यूज
describes
होते
it,
मानो बच्चे, बच्चे की बोली तोतली
he
होती है ना,
doesn't use his
ऐसे
appropriate
बोलते
language,
रहते
grammar,
हैं.
etc.
तो बच्चे
because
अपनी
he's
तोतली
trying
भाषा
to
में
portray
बोलते हैं,
how a
तो बोला
child speaks.
कन्हैया
So
वो तो जग गया,
they, in their half
जगा तो रोने लगा, रोने लगा तो अपने पाँव हिलाने लगा,
correct
ये धड़ाम से
grammar,
पाँव
they're
मारा,
saying that
बैलगाड़ी आकाश
Krishna
में
started
उछल गई,
crying
धड़ाम
and
करके गिरी.
he just put his feet, and this
इतना
bullock cart
सुनते ही
shattered
जो
into
गोप
pieces
थे वो
just by
बच्चों को
listening
डांटने
this.
लगे.
The cowherd men started scolding the children.
मूर्ख कहीं के,
They said that you all are
ऐसा
foolish.
बालक पाँव
This
मारेगा और बैलगाड़ी
three-month-old
चलेगी.
child will kick
तो
the
दूसरे गोप जो
chair,
थे,
this
जो
bullock
बच्चों को
cart, and
पूछते
this
थे,
will
उसको
fly in the
डांटने
sky.
लगे.
So they started
ये तो
scolding.
पागल है, तुम भी पागल के बच्चों को पूछ
So
रहे हो.
the others
तो
said that
यहाँ पर
the kids are crazy and you're also crazy that you're asking these children. Harish Ji here says that the speech of these children is far truthful as Vedas, but these old are not agreeing. They say that we know the world more, we are elder. Now you're going to teach us how it felt. So, in this manner, they didn't believe the kids. Harishuriji says that this is true. They are the children are the form of the Lord, and they don't have any conceit in their heart. Their speech is as pure as and truthful as Ved, but some people have this pride of their age, so they don't listen to the kids. I have seen in my own life as well. Those who have seen my childhood when I was small, when I speak in front of them, they say that he is Lala. He used to wear shorts. So am I supposed to wear shorts throughout my life? Will not wear dhoti or pants. So some people have said, what will this boy speak? But in this world, whatever we feel that is small or appear to be small, when Ramji went forward to break this bow, then Sunena was extremely distressed. She was thinking that what is the king doing? This great kings couldn't even pick this bow, and this small child, a prince, will carry it. Then his friend told, she says that we should never underestimate a person. The person might appear to be small, but he has his potencies. So we should just wait for a while and check for results. So the one who is opulent, we should never consider them to be small. So in this manner, it is described. So the Acharya spoke a beautiful point. They said this bullock was sitting on Lord, on top of Lord, and Lord was below. And the Lord became angry that I am the greatest of all, and he is sitting on top of me. So he kicked and put him down on the earth. So he put this bullock on the earth. But when Krishna makes someone fall, they get a a place even better than great austere sages, mystics, etc. So it implies that he attained the eternal abode of the Lord. So here the scholars write that Krishna, the one who is fallen by Krishna, then he attained the eternal abode of the Lord. But then what will be the position of a person whom Krishna tries to pull or to pick him up? So what will be their position? So concluding this pastime, one Acharya beautifully describes. He says this bullock cart wanted to harm Krishna, yet Krishna benefited them. So we should also, in this society, we will find some people who will speak ill of us, who will want to harm us, but we should always remain in our psychophysical nature, that is Svabhava, and we should always behave nicely. Parikshit Maharaj asked Shukdev Goswami that who was this Shaktasur or the demon Shaktasur? What is his history? And Shukdev Goswami says, have you heard of Hiranyaksh or Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksh? So the elder brother Hiranyaksh had a son whose name was Utkach. And Hiranyaksh, what he used to do, he used to gather, accumulate wealth by dismissing.
करने की जरूरत नहीं थी. तब हिरण्याक्ष
So
का
his
बेटा
son didn't have to work anything. So what he used to do?
एक्सरसाइज करता था.
The whole day he
प्रोटीन
used to
खाता था,
exercise.
प्रोटीन पीता था और अपना मसल मसल डोले शोले बॉडी बॉडी को सिक्स पैक
So he
एकदम
was
सिक्स पैक पैक बनाता
making
रहता
his
था.
body perfect.
और जब इस प्रकार से अपने शरीर को बिल्कुल ऐसा कर दिया ना,
When
तो
he
जो
made his
अभिमान बढ़
body
गया था,
perfect, then his pride
ऐसा अभिमान बढ़ गया, जहां
aroused.
जाए ना वहां ऐसे पंच
So
मारता
wherever
था.
he used to go,
दीवार
he
को
used
भी
to
मार देता,
punch
कभी पेड़ पर मार
the
देता,
wall
देख तू
or the
देख,
tree, whatever used to
कभी किसी
come
के
in
मुंह
his
पे
way.
मार देता, देख लगा, किसी के मुंह के सिर पर मार देता. ये हिरण्याक्ष का बेटा उत्कच
So this
अपने
son
बालक
of Hiraksh,
शक्टासुर,
Utkach, was
वो
so
ऐसे
habituated to
घूमते
do this that while
कि
roaming here
लोमस
and
ऋषि
there,
के आश्रम में पहुंचा.
he went to the
अब
hermitage of
लोमस ऋषि का कोई
Lomas
आश्रम नहीं, आप
Rishi.
जानते ना.
So he didn't had
लोमस
any
ऋषि ने कोई
hermitage.
हवेली नहीं बनाई.
He
वो
didn't
क्या
made
करते,
any
घास का एक
cottage
बंडल
also.
है, उसकी
So
छांव में बैठकर भजन
he
करते
used
हैं.
to sit under
जब
the
सूर्य की
shade
दिशा
of
बदलती है
grass,
तो वे दूसरी
and
दिशा में आकर बैठते
when
हैं घास
the
के
direction of the sun
उस
changes,
बंडल के
then
छांव
he
में
just changes the
भजन करते हैं.
bundle's position and then he
अब ये
performs his devotional
उत्कच
service. So
उस
this
वन में
Utkach
पहुंचा जहां लोमस ऋषि रहते थे.
went to
अब इसके
this
दिमाग में
forest
आया,
where Lomas Rishi was
मेरे जैसा
residing, and he had
शक्तिशाली कोई
this
नहीं.
pride that I'm the most
तो लोग
powerful.
जहां थे वहां वृक्षों को
And where he was
मारता और
sitting,
गिरा देता.
he
देख गिर गया, दूसरे
started
वृक्ष को
destroying
मारता
the
गिरा
trees.
देता, देख गिर गया. अब लोमस ऋषि इस वृक्षों
So
के सहारे
Lomas
इस
Rishi
वृक्षों
was
की छांव में
sitting
ही तो भजन कर रहे थे.
under the shadow
और
of
ये लोमस
these
ऋषि
trees,
के वन में सारे
and
वृक्षों को तोड़ दिया.
he was breaking all the trees in this
लोमस
forest.
ऋषि को
Then
क्रोध आया
Lomas Rishi
और
became
क्रोध
agitated
आने
and
से कहा,
angry,
मैं
and
कि
he
तू तो
said,
अपने शरीर के बल में इतना
"You
वैभव हो
are
गया है,
so
तेरे शरीर
engrossed
के
in your
कारण
body,
तू इतना
and
अभिमानी हो
because
गया है
of your
कि
body, you've
बिना
become
वजह
so
यहाँ पर पेड़
proud
पौधे को
that
तोड़ रहा है.
without any reason you are
तुझे जिस
destroying these
शरीर का
plants and trees.
अभिमान है,
So the
क्या मैं
body
तुझे
that
श्राप
you're
देता
so
हूँ कि
proud
तेरा
of,
शरीर
I
गिर
curse
जाए.
you that that body will
जैसे
fall
सर्प अपनी कंचुल निकाल देता है
as
उसी
a
समय
snake
लोमस
leaves
ऋषि का
his
श्राप
skin.
उसको लग गया
Similarly,
और
he-
उसका शरीर
this
गिर गया
curse acted
और
and
आत्मा भटकने
he
लगा.
lost his body and his
उस दिन से वो बिना
soul
शरीर का
started
हो गया.
wandering, and because of that he was without a body,
अब जब शरीर
like a
गिरने लगा
ghost. So
तब वो
when his
लोमस ऋषि
body
से प्रार्थना
fa-
करने लगा, अफसोस
fell,
करने लगा,
then
गलती
he
हो गई, क्षमा करो क्षमा करो.
became remorseful and
साधु
requested
हृदय
Lomas
कोमल
Rishi.
होता है.
And a
लोमस
sage
ऋषि
is
ने कहा, देखो
kind,
तूने गलती
soft-hearted.
की
He
है,
said that
तुझे
you
श्राप मिला
have
है,
cursed, so
श्राप नहीं
that is why
पाऊंगा.
I cursed you.
परंतु तू प्रार्थना कर रहा
But
है, निवेदन
you,
कर रहा
as
है,
you are
तो
requesting
मैं तुझ
me,
पर एक कृपा कर सकता हूँ.
I
क्या?
can give you one benediction.
बोले
And
आने
what's
वाले
that?
द्वापर
They
युग
said
में
that
स्वयं
in
भगवान
the
श्री कृष्ण
upcoming
प्रकट
Dwapar
होंगे
Yuga, Lord Shri Krishna will manifest himself,
और उस भगवान श्री
and
कृष्ण का चरण तुझे स्पर्श होगा, उस
his
दिन तेरा
lotus
उद्धार
feet
हो
will
जाएगा.
touch you and you will be liberated.
तब से ये भटक रहा
And
था, भटक रहा था. फिर
since
भटकते
that time
भटकते
he was roaming,
कंस के वहां
and
पहुंचा,
he
कंस के
went
वहां रहा. फिर जब कंस
to
ने भेजा
Kansa
कि
and
जाओ,
stayed there. And when Kansa
तब
sent
सोचा
him
कि
that
अब
you should
मेरा
go,
रिजर्वेशन
then he thought
कन्फर्म
that
है,
now
क्योंकि अब प्रभु
I will
मेरे
be
चरण
liberated
स्पर्श होंगे
because I will
और
be
लोमस
touched by the
ऋषि का
lotus feet of
श्राप
the Lord,
मेरा
and
उद्धार हो
Lomas
जाएगा.
Rishi's
तो
curse and
वो उत्कच
benediction will
शक्टासुर
fructify.
बनकर जब कृष्ण के पास आया
So
तो
when
कृष्ण को
he
लोमस ऋषि
came
की याद आई
as
कि
Shaktasur,
मुझे
he
कृष्ण
remembered
ने वरदान दिया है
the
कि तू
sage.
मेरा चरण स्पर्श
Krishna
करेगा
remembered
तो
the
मेरा
sage,
उद्धार
and
हो
that
जाएगा.
he
तो
has
उस
given him
लोमस
this
ऋषि के
benediction.
वचन को सत्य
So
रखने
to
के लिए
keep the
भगवान
word
श्री
of
कृष्ण ने
Lomas Rishi, Lord Shri Krishna
उस असुर शक्टासुर को अपना चरण स्पर्श किया. नहीं तो हाथ भी
touched
स्पर्श, हाथ से भी तोड़ सकता
the
था, टूट
Shaktasur.
जाता,
Otherwise, he could have
लेकिन
broken
साधु के
with
वचन
his
को
hands.
रखना
But
है.
to keep the
भगवान
word
अपने
of this
वचन को
sage,
कभी
he never,
काटते नहीं
the
है.
Lord never fails the word of his devotees.
साधु के
So
वचन को रखने के
to
लिए
keep his
उसने
word,
अपना चरण
the
स्पर्श
Lord
किया और इस
touched
प्रकार
him with
उद्धार
his
कर
feet
दिया.
and liberated
अंत
him.
में ठाकुर भक्ति विनोद कहते हैं
And
कि
ultimately,
जो
Thakur
इस
Bhaktivinoda
शक्टासुर
says
उद्धार की कथा
that
सुनेगा
the one who
उसके
listens to
मन से
this
आलस निकल जाएगी,
Shaktasur, he
घमंड
will
निकल
get relieved
जाएगा,
of
हैं?
laziness,
उनके
pride,
जीवन से बुरी आदत
and
खत्म हो जाएगी.
all their bad
तो इस
habits will be
कड़ी को हमने
destroyed.
2 दिन सुना.
So we have
आज
been
हम
listening
इसमें
to
एक
this for
चैनल लीला
2 days.
सुनेंगे.
So tomorrow we will listen to some other pastime and we will make our. So we have 10 minutes. So since so many days we haven't done any question answers session and discussion. So let's take some questions. If you have any questions, then we will discuss those and try to. So let's conclude the session with Jejikar. Then we will have some information and then we will take question answers.